best thing you can do is what you mentioned, Caroline, which is going outside and making sure that your eyes are exposed to natural light before any other light. Doesn't matter if it's cloudy outside, rainy, get outside, not a window because that changes the frequencies of light, physically outside just for a few minutes and let your natural light go through your eyes, into your skin, and it will tell your body clock the correct signals and you'll feel amazing. Just a few days of doing that, you could even replace caffeine in the morning. It's that powerful.
This is Doctor Talks.
Well, Andy, what a pleasure to see you again. We were both trying to work out, I think it was a good 2-3 years ago when we last chatted, and so much has happened in your life since then. You were giving me a little bit of behind the scenes information, and I'm very excited to have you on these Doctors Talk to help people with mental health and anxiety and depression and understanding more natural ways and other ways of helping people to manage their mental health. So welcome back. Great to see you again. And please tell my audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course. Always a pleasure to speak with you, Caroline. And yeah, it's been a while, but we've been in touch sort of via email and those times. Been fantastic. But yeah, I guess my background is I'm British. I live in Australia. I moved to Australia about 12 years ago because I was fed up of never seeing the sun in the United Kingdom. I see it lots here now, which is great. Yeah. And yeah, my journey began with light, really moving to Australia. But in terms of trying to help other people, it was about six to 7 years ago. I got in a real sort of bad way with my weight and my health. I was down, depressed, anxious, overweight, really not in a good space. So conventional dieting didn't help me, went on a low carb diet, lost a lot of weight, but I did that through my own learning. So what that prompted me to do after I'd lost the weight, started to feel a bit better, as I went into this optimization phase where I was like, well, what more can I optimize in my life? And the biggest thing that I was lacking was my sleep. And I kept reading, sleep is all about like the cornerstone to longevity, to health, helps with, sort of metabolism, helps with mental health, physical health. So I started looking into the components of sleep and how I could improve the quality of my sleep and the quantity of my sleep. And I discovered...
Can I interrupt you for a second there? I'm sure when you did some of that reading there, it made you terrified as well, because there's just so much almost negative stuff about sleep, and that's, we've got to know about it, but we've got to balance the negative with the positive, realizing that if you're terrified of sleep or thinking, I've got to do all these things, that's actually worse for you than not sleeping. It'll just make you not sleep. So I didn't want to interrupt you there. I just wanted to, because I think we had mentioned that before in our previous interview, was that like it's scary, the stuff out there on sleep. We kind of have to calm down a little.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing is it's an easy fix, right? That's the thing. You understand it. You're not talking life-changing protocols to fix it. You're talking a few little hacks here and there, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I think there's some sort of condition, I think it's called like orthophobia or something like that, where it's these sleep trackers people are wearing that they get so obsessed with them, they actually are waking up in the night looking at it and making sure they're sleeping. Counterintuitive to what they're trying to do. But yeah, no, you've got to be positive with these things. And, that led me to find that light and how that impacted sleep. And that's how my company Bonchard was born. It was a bid to educate people on how to improve their sleep using light as one of the mechanisms. And then we invented another product to help with that based on what the academic literature at the time was saying. Things like blue light glasses, sleep-friendly light bulbs, red light therapy, and things like that.
Amazing. And since I last saw, you've developed so many new products. And towards the end, I'd love to you to tell the listeners and viewers about that. But I'd love to start with, light. You're saying light can impact sleep. We all know that. And I know that one of the routines that is part of my life and that I told my patients and things is first thing in the morning, just wherever you are, even if it's a bit gray and overcast outside, just get that light, just stick your head out and make sure you get light in your eyes as soon as possible. And we know that it's so important, and there's all the photons and light. Without getting too sciencey, could you just dive into the importance of light, the impact on sleep, stress, anxiety, and depression?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have body clocks, right? Circadian rhythms is the technical word for it. And they're governed by light. They're ancient. So we have these millions of years ago as we were evolving. And they're all triggered by the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun and being outside during the day. that helps us regulate our hormones correctly throughout the day. So serotonin, dopamine, cortisol, it regulates them in perfect harmony. The issue we've got now is we've got artificial light, which we didn't have when we were ancestrally evolved, or even up to like 150 years ago. We didn't have this in our lives. So LED light bulbs, and they're very different to how the sun's light changes throughout the day. So we're constantly fed the same frequencies of light at any time during the day. So that's tricking our body clocks into thinking that it's daytime all the time, even if we're sat having dinner in the evening under light, if we're opening our fridge and lights coming out at us, our overhead lighting in offices. And like, as you watch the TV or scroll your phone, that light is continually sending signals to our body clock saying it's daytime, stay awake. Now, the issue with that is, yeah, you can stay up late watching your favorite TV shows or socializing, which is great, but it has a negative impact on our hormones, specifically cortisol. Now, we've seen from various studies out there in the literature that it can disrupt the cortisol cycle. So cortisol is a good and a bad thing, right? It's really good in the mornings, jumpstarts you, gets you out of bed and keeps you active during the day. Cortisol awakening response, so important. And that's triggered by the blue light in the mornings and our circadian rhythms being entrained by that light. Now, if that happens continually at the wrong times of the day, we get a dysregulation of our cortisol, where two things can happen, right? The first thing is the cortisol cycle could flip, which means that you struggle to get up in the morning and you feel really down and depressed in the morning, struggle to get yourself motivated. But then you sit down in the evening and your cortisol levels are high, you can't sleep, you're happy to stay up late, and that's really bad for your sleep and overall health. The other issue that can occur is that cortisol can become chronically elevated, which means that when you're in this sort of fight and flight sort of situation all the time, you can then become really depressed, you can become anxious, you can become really sort of hyper aware of things and stressed. And it's part of that is down to being under the wrong light at the wrong time of the day. And we need to take steps to be outside more in the natural light, but also managing the artificial light, because I don't want to scare anyone. You've got to live outside and you can't watch TV and can't put on your lights. That's why our company.
It's so realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why One Charge was born. It was to let people enjoy these modern conveniences and luxuries, but without disrupting their hormones through mismanagement of artificial light.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. So can you tell us while we're on that light thing, what are some of the things that people can do now, immediately today, as they leave this, this interview? And then we can talk at the end about your products and things, but what could they do right now?
Yeah, that's a great question, because there's so many free things people can do to optimize their light hygiene. So the best thing you can do is what you mentioned, Caroline, which is going outside and making sure that your eyes are exposed to natural light before any other light. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's cloudy outside, rainy, get outside, not a window, because that changes the frequencies of light. Physically outside just for a few minutes, and let a natural light go through your eyes, into your skin, and it will tell your body clock the correct signals, and you'll feel amazing. Just a few days of doing that, you could even replace caffeine in the morning. It's that powerful. So that's really good. The other things you can do is during the day, if you're working in the office or you're working inside, or even if you're just at home at the weekend, try and get outside a few times during the day. You can just go out for what I like to call sun breaks, where just for a few minutes, you go outside, get the sunlight back through your eyes again for a few minutes. I'm not talking about staring at the sun, just being outside in the light. And I think that then allows the body to check in and go, okay, well, it's this time of the day now. These hormones need to be suppressed. These hormones need to be released. And we just get this optimal hormonal balance. You could even go, if you want to go even further, you can watch the sun set as well. I know it's not always practical, probably the least important out of the three things I've mentioned, but watching the sun set as well, that triggers cortisol levels to decline, because you're getting more red light into your eyes, which is very relaxing and soothing. And it then triggers a response to the central clock system to say, okay, well, nighttime's approaching now. Let's drop down the cortisol, increase melatonin, which helps you feel relaxed and at ease and chilled, ready for sleep. So those three things are great for doing. You can also do things like when you're on your laptop or your MacBook or whatever it may be, there's a little setting in the settings section, which allows you to reduce the blue light levels. So yeah, it's great, isn't it? You can just pull that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're going to blast the blue light into your eyes. If you have like a salt lamp or something like that, you can have that next to your computer, which helps balance the blue light. Light's all about balance, right? The sun is very balanced in all the different colors. Think of the rainbow. Whereas your laptop computer is all blue and green and only a little bit of the beneficial red light. Get like a nice salt lamp, stick that next to your computer, and you'll feel really relaxed whilst going about your day as well. And just having general breaks from screens, right? Like so many people on their phones all the time. Like, let's be mindful. Let's just sit somewhere, maybe outside, maybe gather your thoughts. Don't always have to be doing something like being on your phone, because that's overstimulation as well as so much more artificial blue light coming into your body as well. And the final fact as well is people are on their phones a lot, and, you know, that's hard to change sometimes.
Yeah.
And you actually put your phone on night shift mode during the day, which reduces the blue light down. So you're just getting less sources of artificial blue light that's sort of around you during the day and also into the evening as well. So they're probably the three easy things to do that will just change your life in terms of better sleep and better circadian health.
That's fantastic. Well, that's really helpful and useful. And, you know, it's not that, you know, you're not saying that phones and things are bad. What you're trying to say here is that there's a balance, you know, just to be exposed to too much blue light is too much of anything is a problem. So it's to get balance. It's always about balance. So those are really great tips. Thank you so much. Andy, let's talk about red light. Just before we do that, there's something that you commented on. The sun lifts the mood while blue light promotes feelings of anxiety. Can you talk about that in terms of, because you mentioned about the sunset, how it can calm you down, and sunrise in the morning and those kinds of things, and being in the sun. We all know that lifts our mood. I mean, you just have to look at a sunset and there's just that sense. It's like in me, it's hard not to look at a sunset or a sunrise and think, wow. But then you said, talking about how blue light can promote feelings of anxiety. It's not all blue light, it's not little bits of it, it's quantity. So can you talk a little bit about that, and just in terms of the balancing again? Because I think people sometimes, there's so much emphasis on this, blue light's so bad for you. Nothing's bad for you in the right quantities.
Yeah, 100%, right? And that's the thing. I don't want to demonize blue light. Blue light's fantastic during the day. The sky's blue. Think of the feelings you get on a lovely sunny day. The sky's blue. It's an incredible feeling. And blue light is important during the day from natural sources. It allows you to keep you awake. It allows dopamine and serotonin to be produced in the body. It pulls up cortisol in the morning, which is super important to have. Cortisol is not a bad thing. Yeah. It's context, you know. Now, the issue we've got is we're exposed to blue light just continually.
The issue, yeah.
Yeah, and then into the evening, right? But it's also, if you get blue light at the wrong times of the day, it's stimulating the wrong hormones. Mm-hmm. So like I mentioned in the end of the last question on the three sort of biohacks you can do with watching the sunset and the sunrise, is that's all red light, and that's very soothing, relaxing, calming. When you go into the evening, the body isn't used to blue light. Think about ancestors, right? Think of them sat around the fire, red, orange light, they're relaxed, they're chatting, they're conversing, then they go into bed. There's no blue light present. There's no sun in the sky. You've got the moon and the stars, but the intensity of that blue light is minimal. It doesn't impact daily rhythms. What we're doing is we're going after dark, after sunset, when we should be exposed to red light. We're putting on our house lights. We're looking at our phone. We're watching the TV. We're opening the fridge. We're on our laptops. That blue light is telling our body to release more cortisol, which is then causing us to be stressed more and more, or to have the wrong hormone at the wrong time of the day. Cortisol is an energetic hormone. It keeps us alert and awake and alive during the day.
Focused
and focus. Yeah, absolutely. Great point. But then in the evening, we don't want to be really sort of energetic, focused. We want to be relaxed and sort of dozy and chilled and relaxed. And the blue light isn't allowing us to do that. So we're continually exposed to it. So continually exposed to cortisol, which just over time can lead to, feeling a bit low. It can then lead to stress, can then lead to anxiety, and it just progressively might get worse in certain individuals. The blue light during the day is great. It keeps you alert and awake, but the problem is balance, right? The sunlight is completely balanced. We have blue, green, yellow, orange, red light, all
The
in
whole
complete,
spectrum.
the whole spectrum of light. And blue light is great during the day from the sun. It causes, like I said, cortisol, dopamine, serotonin production. The issues with blue light during the day, even from the sun, is it causes cellular damage. Now, what the sun has in it is a lot of red light, and that cellular damage is instantly repaired because it has soothing, healing frequencies of red light in it. The issue we have with artificial sources, blue light is very high, red light very low. So we get all the benefits of the blue light that we do from sunlight from our computers during the day, but we get none of the repair happening. So, we might age faster being in front of the computer. We might have more cellular damage, which can lead to other, unpleasant health issues moving through life. So it's all about balance. The blue light, like you said, is context. It's blue light at the time of the day, the amount of blue light, but also how balanced that spectrum of light is in terms of whether it can be classed as, well, that's unhealthy blue light or that's healthy blue light.
I love that. I really like how you explained that. And I think that was important for people to just get that perspective as well. And a lot of people may already have an idea of this, but it's really, you explained that so well. So thank you. So let's transition over to why infrared saunas, and especially, with the red light ones. And, I have this infrared sauna, and I'm fortunate to have one at home, and I sauna every day, and I always put my red light on. And I've got all the different color lights, but red is my favorite. And I know you can buy all those great masks that you can put on your face for the red light for your skin, and all these. So let's talk a little bit about red light and saunas and how that can help us. And you've already mentioned a little bit about the red light and the sunsets and so on. So if you could talk about it in terms of saunas and maybe in terms of those masks that people put on for their skin and that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with the saunas. So we're talking here about far infrared light. Because there's far infrared and near infrared. And people often get confused about what they're used for. So far infrared light is what's found in infrared saunas and infrared sauna blankets. It's an invisible frequency of light, and it's used for heating purposes. So it heats the body directly rather than a traditional sauna, which uses coals or something like that, which heats the air around you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more effective to use infrared light for heating because it can penetrate deeper into the skin. It allows the environment around you not to be really hot. So, your head can get really hot, things like that. It targets the body. And it targets deep into the muscle. So it can help you with muscle recovery. It can help you with sort of detoxification. So it helps you sweat more to allow you to get rid of some of the impurities that you might have absorbed during the day, just from everyday life, just from being outside, you can get sort of pollutants and things in. So it helps get that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some sort of preliminary studies are showing that actually it sort of boosts endorphins. So people are sort of saying this thing like post sauna high, right? So they have this infrared sauna, and they come out and they feel absolutely euphoric and great and relaxed, and it really boosts their mood. And it's just how powerful light can be, right? Like in different frequencies, and each frequency of light has its own benefit. Far infrared light, whilst heating you over a certain period of time, can help you feel very euphoric and happy after you've had it. So it's always great to use when you're feeling a bit down, or even just as a general part of your wellness routine. It's also fantastic to sleep because it really relaxes you. It sort of reduces those cortisol levels down, makes you feel relaxed and chilled. And it's great to do before bed. It's like big thing at the moment that's trending is ice baths. But if you did an ice bath just before bed, you're going to be all wired and won't sleep. Perfect morning, get you awake. Now, red light therapy is different from infrared sauna. So that uses visible red light, and it uses near infrared light. So red light and near infrared light, specifically at 660, 630 nanometers, and also 850 nanometers. People don't need to worry too much about the technical sort of aspect of that. They're just very powerful frequencies of light. Now, those frequencies of light have been shown in various peer-reviewed studies, quite a few of them gold standard double-blind placebos, to help boost energy production at a cellular level. Now, what that does in basic terms is it helps repair and restore certain inefficiencies at a cellular level. So, for instance, you have a red light face masks that people would have seen. People look like Hannibal Lecter wearing them. So really trending at the moment because they boost collagen in the skin at a cellular level. They do that by boosting fibroblast production, which can then lead to then the collagen elastin production. On another level, you have the near infrared light, which penetrates deep into the muscles and bones, which helps you recover faster, helps you if you've got stiff, aching joints. It's also been shown red light to boost mood as well. So it doesn't like get hyper, it relaxes you, it soothes you, very similar to the sauna, but it does so more at that sort of cellular level. It helps you relax, unwind. It's great to do in the evening. And you've got a third sort of red light that you can use as well, which is lighting. So you can actually change the light bulbs in your house to emit only red light in the evening, which mimics the campfire, which can help you relax as well. The reason people are doing that right now is there's been one study that came out in 2018 that showed that blue light can impact the skin, regardless if you're wearing blue light glasses. So people are starting to change their light bulbs out or use lamps or red light motion sensor night lights, things like that, because the red light has been shown not to impact melatonin production, which then could damage your sleep. So there's sort of three ways you can do it. Far infrared light in saunas, it's great, makes you feel amazing. Red light therapy, near infrared and red light at a therapeutic level, which can help you feel relaxed and amazing, but also help boost cellular repair. And then you've got red light lighting, like light bulbs and light, which can be used around you to stop the blue light from hitting your skin and disrupting your sleep and hormones in the evenings.
And that's fantastic. Thank you for explaining that so well, so easily. So like my sauna, I've actually, as I said, I've got, it's the infrared, but it's also got the red light therapy in it. So it's great. So I can get 2 in 1, which is really, and you really feel amazing. And it really makes a difference with your skin. And you do your mood and everything. It's really great. And also I find if I use it like a certain amount of time in the morning, I'm very energetic, but if I use it for too long, I get sleepy. So that's why slightly longer in the evening or something like that. So I love what it said, just show what we can take those natural things and we can use them. If you don't have a sauna, those masks are available. It's not doing what a sauna is doing, but you can get sauna blankets. You get fairly inexpensive saunas that you can lie on the floor and climb into them and whatever. So what can we do if we feel conventional medicine is not meeting our needs? So this is a bit of a jump to a different side of things. How would you approach that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really, really good question. And the reason that's a really good question is a lot of people turn to the wrong people then if the conventional medicine isn't helping them. There's a lot of people out there that will focus on one thing, right? That, like, say, for instance, someone says, you have to eat this diet to feel amazing and to get healthy. And that could be vegan, paleo, keto, carnivore, whatever.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do, you've got to go to someone that's really looking at both sides of the spectrum, both sides of, well, this study's saying one thing, this study's saying the other. Let's find where we can sort of have those discussions and find out what can work for people on an individual level. I think you do it really well, Caroline, because you talk about lots of different protocols that people can use. Whereas going, you need to do this, and away you go. Now, it's kind of the philosophy we have as well. We know that light is one pillar of health. A lot of people would sit here and go, right, light's the cause of anxiety and depression. Don't need to do anything else. And
big mistake.
It's just big mistake, massive mistake. One tiny pillar that can, might cause it, or might intensify it, or might have no impact for some people. You've just got to look at all the different protocols. You've got to think, well, how can this work for me? Listen to your body. How am I feeling? If I try something that, a vegan is saying, eat a vegan diet, and you're eating it and feeling terrible, that's not for you. And that's not a mistake. You're trying different things. You're experimenting on yourself. You're trying to optimize yourself. And you've just got to try different things till you find what's right for you, not what someone is telling you is right for you. And I think that's probably the bit of advice I would give people.
That's really great. No, I totally agree with you 100%. What are some other lifestyle choices we can make to improve our mental and physical health? Because if you think of it, you've just said, there's light's one pillar and the sauna's one pillar and the infrared mask are another pillar. All of these things are adding up, and you also can't do everything. I mean, the whole biohacking movement is fantastic, and I know you're very excited about it, and we all are. But you can, as you already gave the example of sleep tracking, you can't. It's counterproductive if you're waking up to check your sleep thing, or it can make you very stressed out. I mean, I've had people just saying this to me recently at various different conferences, saying, gosh, I've got every tracking device out there, and it's just made me a basket case because it's just tracking everything. And that's also not good. So we're not telling everyone to do everything. It's to get a nice broad knowledge base and then work out what works for you. So in terms of lifestyle advice, how would you, and as our last question, how would you advise people to include a light and saunas and just generally, how would you get a balanced approach, lifestyle choices, and what other lifestyle options would you recommend on top of what you've already recommended?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. It's a spectrum, right? Biohacking and anything in health. You've got the real extreme people one end, and you've got the people that know nothing at the other end. And anywhere along there is fine to be. What you don't want to do is go, right, I'm going to go and buy 20 grand's worth of biohacking tech from day one, having, listened to someone talk about this stuff, because you're setting yourself up to fail. It's all about small habits. It's all about starting with the free stuff. Get outside more, get out into the light more. You then may go, oh my goodness, I feel amazing doing that. Maybe I'm going to look at managing my light hygiene in the evening. Maybe I'm going to have a couple of salt lamps. Maybe I'm going to try some blue light blocking glasses. You might start to feel great after that and say, that's enough for me. I'm fine. But some people then may go, no, I'm going to go one step further. I'm loving this. I'm going to try sauna blankets. I'm going to try red light therapy. And it snowballs from there. And no matter where you are on the spectrum of biohacking, it's totally fine. Everyone's on their own journeys. Some are more far along than others, but there's no shame in being anywhere on there, and there's no shame in stopping anywhere on there. I'm probably sort of a 9 out of 10 on that. My wife's probably a 6 out of 10 on that spectrum, because it works for her to stop at that point. She doesn't need to do those other things. It's really, again, going back to listening to yourself and what is good for you, because otherwise, it's all about anything in health and wellness and anything in love. Number one for me is adherence to it, right? You can go on any diet world, but it's adherence. What's going to work for you, and what are you going to stick with to make your life healthier and more fulfilling? And I think that's where you've got to position it. I think it's as simple as that.
I love it. I totally agree. 100%. Thank you. Andy, what about, where can people, tell us first of all, what are some of the other products that you have that can help people in this search for their lifestyle changes? And I know that you're not trying to tell them to get everything, but let them know what you've got available, and then where can they get hold of you and where can they learn from you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we offer the full suite of biohacking products. They've all been tested. They're all doing what they say they're doing, which is important, because there's a lot of not so good ones on Amazon out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've got to be careful, but if people are just listening to audio of this, that's fine. But I did have a couple here just to show. I'm wearing the glasses. Yeah, these are my light sensitivity glasses. So they're like boosting glasses. They help during the winter months for me, because winter here in Australia, they make everything really yellow and bright and make me happy. So I love to wear these. I've got a family history of seasonal affective disorder. So I am really staunch biohacker in the winter months. I'm outside of it. Yeah. So then we got these glasses here. These are blue light blocking glasses. Now, as I said earlier, in the evenings, you want to block blue light, because if you don't, you're going to potentially not sleep as well and still really wired. So these help reduce cortisol and increase your melatonin production. And these are cool. These are so good. These are motion sensor night lights. So I have them positioned around the house. So as I'm walking throughout the night, they come on and they emit red light.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, they're so nice, so soothing. And I
love that.
A lot on just to show finally, which is red light therapy.
Oh, wonderful. Beautiful.
It's a little baby panel that we have that, you can just pop it on your desk and just have it on your face.
So good.
Yeah. Sometimes I have it just here, like next to my computer.
Fantastic.
So it can like double up as helping balance the light, but also help with skin health, help boost your mood, feel relaxed. Like, it's fantastic. So people can find us at boncharge.com. So that's BON and then charge as in, the word charge. So boncharge.com. And like we've got amazing people like in our customer support team as well. So if people have any questions, like it can be overwhelming going on a website.
Exactly.
As far as the question, just say like, this is my situation. Say that they heard the conversation that we've been having, and can they provide some advice on what products they should start with? And, everyone's trained their bum themselves, so they all know what these products do. And they can say, well, based on what you've described and your lifestyle, maybe try the blue light glasses, maybe try the night light to start with, and then they can go from there. But they're not alone. We're here to help. We're education first. Got some cool blogs on the website. and an amazing support team to be able to help personalize a product for anyone that needs that help.
Oh, thank you so much, Andy. That's amazing. Well, thank you for your help and thank you for the work that you're doing and making all these things and just giving us a really balanced approach to a field that is, a sort of an area that is exciting, but has got a little bit overboard sometimes, the biohacking movement. So thank you for bringing a nice balance back to that. And thanks for joining us today.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for having me on. And it's been a pleasure to speak about light today.
Fantastic. Always good seeing you. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you for tuning in to Dr. Talks. We hope today's episode has enlightened and inspired you on your path to optimal health. Each day is a new opportunity to make choices that empower your well-being. For more insights and strategies, subscribe to our podcast and visit our website, www.drtalks.com. Stay connected, stay healthy, and join us next time on Dr. Talks. Real talks from real doctors on the issues that matter to you most.